You're now rocking with the 134. Smash.
Welcome, everyone, to the newest podcast on the network. It's 134 Boys. I'm Kevin.
I'm Tyree.
Rasan.
We are all proprietors of this podcast. We are no way experts, but passionate and curious observers who are willing to discuss topics. Our podcast will be a variety of topics for the public, which cover current events, life purpose, sports, entrepreneurship, music, finances, friendship, health, relationships, and entertainment. Today's episode, we have New York's finest, Kiesh, which will be giving us some information about her journeys in the police department and becoming detective. Also, a female black woman in the Bronx. That's a big deal. Let's give her a round of applause, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How's everybody feeling today?
Good.
Feeling good.
Feeling good, looking good.
Yeah, we feel good. Keisha, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate you.
Of course.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Yo.
inviting me.
I'm on a podcast. Okay. So, Kev, what you want to...
We first we ask that you give the viewers and some of the people out there listening a little intro about yourself, introductory, whatever you feel comfortable sharing.
Okay. So my name is Keisha. I grew up in the South Bronx. Shout out to the 4th. I grew up on
Oh yeah, let's give a round of applause. 174.
Ghost Town.
Boys and Girls Club.
Boys and Girls Club. Yes. Fremont Avenue, Southern Boulevard, South Bronx native. Quick intro to myself. I think I jumped into the police department because I was so in awe at my older sister. My older sister has been with the FBI for about 35 years now. She has me by 15 years. So I just saw this was like the flyest person I saw growing up. Like she got the little drop top coupe, the tight jeans with the Gucci loafers. I'm like I think I want to be her. So I couldn't copy her to the FBI. So I'm like, what could I do? My dad was a cop. So I'm like, you know what? Let me see what's up with this NYPD situation. And I must say, after being here for 18 years, I still absolutely love it. Love it.
Nice.
Well, thank you for your service, too. Thank you.
Yes, we appreciate you. Keeping the streets safe, keeping those bad guys off.
So I got two questions. I got two questions. So you mentioned what part of the 4th you said? Southern Boulevard? That's where you live?
No, I grew up on Vice. I grew up on 174th and Vice. The best block. But okay.
Shout out to Vice.
The best block.
There we go. Starting trouble
Yeah.
You
over
know
there.
a bunch of people I know then.
Of course. We probably got the same circles.
Yeah.
Yeah. We grew up around the same area, same people. Definitely. Shaky days.
Keiki, absolutely. If you didn't go to Keiki and if you didn't go to Keiki in like the early 20s, you just weren't cool. Like even if you couldn't stay, you just had to be in the building. Like so.
I used to bring my in-law stations. I don't even want to
Oh man, yo, who man is this?
Skates, man. You ain't
Whose
bring no
man
skates.
is this? Yo,
I have it, bro. I have the
bring no
big black
in-law
and white
skates to
joints,
the
man.
key.
Not for
Ain't bring no
nothing.
skate. Yo, we was all together. When did you skate?
Only content is that, but not 138.
You couldn't take
Oh,
them.
one
You
day,
couldn't
too.
take the rollerblades.
I'm
Nah.
at the six.
We just going straight and dance on 138. I mean, I had the rollerblade. Y'all niggas remember I still had to do my foot on the train station. I go up front. That's my thing. I like to push the two wheels. I did the two wheels. Like, my choice to go line. No, I mean, back then I wasn't, I wasn't totally until we got the key. Yeah, the key was everything.
Wild.
You turn that corner, you see the line, you look like, yo, look at all these chicks over here, B. Yeah, the key was everything.
Facts.
Key was everything. Good,
The key
good
was
childhood. Definitely good
Definitely
childhood.
memories, bro.
My man BJ, my man Billy Jolly, you know what I mean? So,
Oh my God,
Rest in
Billy,
peace, rest in
Smooka.
peace, man.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Keisha, you know
Rest
Billy?
in peace to Billy.
Yeah, of course I knew. But wait, Billy. Yes, I didn't realize.
Jolly.
Billy's been going for a long time now.
He died young. He died when he was young.
Billy definitely died young.
Yeah.
The master skater.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
The
that's what he
braids.
was, a master skater. Yeah, he was. Let's go.
More time,
There
man.
we go.
How do I give people a toss, yo?
Yeah,
Stop
Ty,
that, Ty.
you're a hard judge.
Well, now we on live. Let's not even do that. Yo, so Ty, you got two questions, bro? Ty.
This shit frozen.
He looked frozen.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to keep it going. So,
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there you go.
Ty, you got two questions, right?
I did, but I don't know what keep happening. Kevin, you still logged in?
yeah, man. I mean,
Right,
the
you
other
took
one,
too
I'm
far
out.
now. All right,
He's out.
gotcha. All right. No, I was gonna ask. So, you would say your biggest influence was your
Yes, absolutely.
and well, there's three questions. So, how was that like? Did the neighborhood know she was down with the FBI?
Of course, everybody knew. I mean, you got to think on a block, everybody knows everybody, and you know
Right.
everybody's business. So
Yeah.
Definitely.
you would see her pull up sometime, and she had a little holster on, but everybody just knew. Like it wasn't a secret, and it wasn't like it was a bad thing. You know, growing up at that time, we had a lot of things going on in the neighborhood, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she even got the respect from the neighborhood people. I'll say it like that. From the neighborhood people who were doing. They
Gotcha.
had their own side businesses,
Got
Yeah.
you.
but
Understood.
everybody knew. And she was just a normal person. It wasn't like she was coming home and trying to arrest anybody. She really didn't care. She,
Yeah.
she was in and out the neighborhood, but it was like, wow, we grew up in the hood where it's crackheads, it's drug dealers, it's everything going on. How did you make it to the FBI? And I just thought,
Yeah.
I still got to give her props. Like, she's still the flyest person and the dopest person I know. Not because she's
That's
my
dope,
sister,
man.
but just because she's just a dope female, you know?
Yeah.
So that was my mentor. Still is my mentor, actually.
She
Shout
had
out
the
to your
drop
sister,
top in the
man.
80s. In
Thank
the
you.
80s, she had the drop top.
Yeah. That's what remember it was like the two-door Acura coupe, and
Oh,
like
Yep.
it was just
Ooh, yeah,
different.
A
that.
legend.
I'm like,
That was an act
right,
legend.
She
right.
legend. Yeah, she a legend with that.
Yeah.
That's what's
Cool.
up. That's what's up.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, I'll let y'all.
So we want to know. I want to know, Keisha, as far as finish high school, right? And you said that your sister, you wanted to go in there. So did the hood? So like, how about the neighbors? So did the neighborhood know that you was a police officer, or you was like kind of?
I moved off the 4th early. I think I was like 18 when I moved off the 4th. I moved to the Fordham area. During the process of becoming a cop, they come knock on your door and they
Oh,
ask your
okay.
neighbors about you. I moved into my grandmother's building, 480 East 188th Street. My grandmother had been there for over 30 years, so all the residents knew me there. So as they're knocking on the doors, they're like, yeah, oh my God, we know her. Yeah. So it wasn't a big deal because it was like they already knew it was a law enforcement family, so it just seemed normal. Like, oh, she's trying to be a cop. Okay. It just seemed normal. You could see me. There's a park not too far from the White Castle over there. I used to run that track every day. And I mean, like I said, I grew up on the 4th. It's a part of I think they took this out of the qualifications. I don't know why. To get into the police academy, you got to be able to climb over a wall. And I'm like, oh, we used to be out there.
Climb over a wall, man.
He
Climb
said
a
he'd
wall.
be
I
up.
heard it at the gate now. I heard it at the gate. I don't know why. But you used to play, you would run, you're climbing over a wall. And I'm like, oh, this is easy. Like, this is shit we used to do. Remember that little park in the middle of the 4th? You would climb over the wall. And then when I saw females not being able to do it, I'm like, girl, you never played men. Never, like, y'all wasn't outside. Like, what happened? And
The
I'm like,
Bronx prepared you.
yeah, I gotta say, the Bronx
Man,
definitely trained me on a lot of things that made my job really easy.
That's
But
dope.
yeah, after high school, I did some college, almost finished up. I'm back in school now. And then
Nice. Okay.
I did a quick little stint in the accounting industry. And at that point, the private sector was going down. That's when everything was crashing. And my stepdad is like, he's like, why don't you just do it? I'm like, do what? He's like, you know, you want to, he's like, I always look up to my dad too also. He's like, just go for it. He's like, you don't got to go for the FBI. He's like, go. He's like, NYPD is cool. He was a sanitation worker. He's like, you too cute to do sanitation. He said, you're going to be smelly. He said, it's not going to work out for you. I'm telling you that right now. The truck is not going to work. If I could do it over, that's probably the best kept job in the world. Even though I love my but sanitation, y'all got it.
Good
Nah.
money too.
DOT.
And it's good money.
We
Sanitation
the
got
top payer.
they
Nah, DOT the top pay.
They-
DOT the top pay.
yes.
Nobody fucking with us.
Shut
Nobody's
up.
fucking with us.
Okay,
Nobody's
good.
fucking with us.
Bragging,
Yeah,
man.
nobody's fucking with us. I ain't gonna lie. Nobody's fucking with us.
Okay.
Okay.
He's who had me. He was out there with me, pushing me like, all right, let's knock out these tests. Let's knock out this physical training and let's get it. So that's how that happened.
That's dope,
Yeah, that's
man.
what's up.
And
Hell
then
yeah.
like a
Salute.
supportive dad, man. Motivation.
I had
Big
two
deal,
dads. I got to shout out my stepdad and my biological dad. They were both around, which is rare. It's weird when you're cool with both of them and they're just like, yeah. I'm like, y'all trying to outdo each other. It's weird.
Yeah.
But okay.
Let's do
Yeah, that's dope, man.
That's what's up. Yeah, so that's why you had some good guidance. That's what you had some good guidance.
Definitely. some great role models growing up.
No wonder why you was fly when you was young. You was getting money both ways, both
Yeah.
sides.
Is you know what, you gotta ask dad number one, like, look, I need money for the key. Then you go to dad number two, and then I had
There
You
you
had,
go.
you had Vince's and all that, Vince's and Vasquez and all
I
that.
remember,
There
So
you
yeah,
go.
I
yeah,
remember you. I remember you, Kiesh. Oh, I
yeah.
remember Kiesh.
you know what,
I
I
remember all
was
that.
thank you guys. I was definitely fashionable, but I gotta give some credit to myself. I had a job too. I definitely
Okay,
Oh,
had
that's
a
what's
okay.
job.
up.
I definitely had. Well, I think I started working at like HMV at like 16,
A
probably like
word?
16, 17. I definitely had a job. So, funny story, my mother is the strictest, meanest, smallest person in the world. Like, if y'all know my mom, Miss Alice she's an old lady. She's mean, but she's nice. It's so weird. She gave me a curfew at 10 o'clock, right? And I'm like, Ma, I don't get out of work until 10:30. She was like, well, you're going to get locked out every night. And I'm like, all right. So at 11 o'clock, I would get uptown, and my stepdad would take the chain off the door, and he would let me in. And I'm like, yo, this is crazy. So I'm getting locked. But,
Her mom wasn't playing.
Mom was not playing, but I wanted the Vances. I wanted the Jordans. I wanted the Air Max, And our time, it was just
It
fashion
was
was such
everything.
a big
Yeah.
It
thing.
was
That's
everything.
New York.
Hell yeah.
Whatever I
That's New
wasn't
York,
getting,
man.
whatever, they would go half with me. So I'm like, well, can I get the 500? No. Can I get 200? Okay, cool. So let me get this other 200 from my own check. So that was like
Yeah.
my little Loki. I can't say I was spoiled, but I didn't want for anything. I got what mattered. I got the time, the loving, and attention. All the extra shit, it was like I got to get out there and get it myself, which was cool.
Yeah.
Definitely.
100%.
So, excellent. These questions ready, Gav?
I got them ready. I just let her share some stories. So back to your career now,
Okay.
coming into the NYPD. So we're gonna start from the beginning.
Okay.
How was your experience at boot camp?
The academy.
The academy. There you go.
So there's a brand new academy in Queens, right? It's beautiful. I mean, it's beautiful. It looks like a movie, right? The academy I went to was dirty. You were getting foot fungus. It was run down. It was
Oh,
mold in there.
Dang.
I think I went into the academy in January, so it was cold, and it's something called the mustard deck. You got to think, I've never been in any sort of military anything, so you got somebody just yelling in your face. You doing push-ups here, you can't eat. You carrying this bag with this goofy uniform and your McDonald's hat, and I'm coming on the train for them on the D train, goofy with my big bag coming down the hill, and people were just like, all right, some people were like, good job. Some people were like, goofy ass. I'm like, okay, whatever. The academy was interesting. It was interesting. The learning part, I want to say it was cool because you get a crash course on everything you need to know under the sun in law in 6 months, which you're never gonna
Dang.
learn. You get enough so that you pass these tests within the 6 months, and you get a lot of on job experience. The working out part, I thought I died like 17 times.
Dang.
You were running like 50, no, I'm exaggerating, like 20 miles a day. I wasn't a runner at all. So running 5 miles was a lot. 20 miles a day, it was a few. In the beginning, I was throwing up, but you can't do that in front of other people. So
oh
afterwards,
man.
after you finish working out in the gym, I would be like, my God, I get my little throw up on, like, okay, I'm good. It was a little rough. But I will say the after effects, this was before all the BBLs and the tummy tucks. My shit was crazy. I had the craziest six pack. I was like, damn, I should go back to the academy because what a workout that was. Like that was like
Oh
the
man.
ultimate. But it built the camaraderie because you work in. It's called the company. So you're there. You're in a team of like 25 other people. If you fail, your whole team is failing.
Oh
So
yeah.
you
I
got to
remember that.
motivate each other. So if you got
Yeah.
somebody that's not willing to run, y'all all messing up. So whenever I have my days where I'm like, God damn it, I'm tired. You had somebody behind me, and shout out to my company, like, come on, let's go. It wasn't often, but it's just some days where you like, shit, I got to do 20 miles every day. And I'm a female. I'm going to talk from a female perspective. You got your period, you're cramping, you're just tired. You're like, it was a lot. It was definitely a lot.
Another question tagged along to that. Other than others that looked like yourself
Was
in
there
the
any
boot camp.
other black girl? No, we
Yeah,
can
I'm
say
just
that.
trying to keep it.
Keeping it
yeah,
PC.
he got mad. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Hey, listen,
That was me. That's my fault. I'm
she's
sorry.
still active.
Were,
She still has a job. I'm
were,
trying.
were there any other females that identified the same way I do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one. There were a few, but there's one that I met the very first day. She's been awesome ever since, and You could tell she was from the Bronx. I looked at her, and I know she probably looked over and thought I was trying to bag her. I saw somebody that looked like me, so I walked up to her. I was like, "Hey, what's up?" She gave me the stink eye, like, "Fuck out of here." I was like, "Wait." I'm like, "Are you from the Bronx?" She said, "Yeah." And from that day till now, that's my girl. And
Nice,
I'm like,
nice.
it's nice to see somebody else that you know is coming from your area that
Mm-hmm.
looks like you ethnically, that, maybe like at that point I wasn't really athletic. So yeah, it was about, I want to say there were 4 of us that
Okay.
looked alike. And
Okay.
we were, we were the Black Girl Magic. Like, come on, let's do this. It was like, it was definitely an ego thing. And we wanted to top the fellas too. Like, we wanted to be a little bit better than the boys. That was the big thing.
So there was some diversity. There you go.
There was a lot of diversity. There was a melting pot. We had a little bit
Okay, good.
a little bit of everything.
So, Keisha, so can we, I don't know if we can ask this, but I'm going to ask it.
Rose
Stop it,
Dillon.
bro.
What?
You froze up.
You felt what?
I froze up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just asking, are you able to say what precinct you work in or you started in?
I started in the 4-4, in the Bronx, in the South. Well, that's kind of still the South Bronx.
That's Longwood?
No, I don't know what precinct that is. The 4-4 is like by Yankee Stadium.
Oh, that's over McCombs area.
Yes, the McCombs area. Started in 4-4. I must say, like, when you talk about ranking of precincts, it's a very high crime precinct. So it's a gift and a curse.
Yeah.
When you're in the academy, your last day, they tell you where you're gonna go. So my instructor's like, "Yo, who did you piss off?" I'm like, "What happened?" He's like, "Why are they sending you there?" I'm like, "I don't know." He's like, "You probably gonna get robbed." I'm like, "I'm gonna get robbed."
Damn.
In the
Police officer get robbed?
Yo, listen, you gotta think this is like 2007. So
That's
I'm
the one
sitting here and
at
I'm
the
like,
train
I
station,
immediately,
right?
that's the one that did the train.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
On the low, I go to my phone, I call my dad. I'm like, "Yo, Dad, they're sending me to the 4-4. He was all right, you'll be okay. My father's very stern. He said, "You'll be all right, suck it up." I'm like, "Oh, that's his answer to everything. You'll be all right, suck it up." I'm like, "Okay, let me call my mom." I called my mom. She's like, "Oh my God, babe, my God." I'm like, "Okay." My mother calls the prayer line. If y'all ever need anything, call my mother. She's gonna call the prayer line. That shit is gonna
That's right.
within
Yeah, the
10
praying
minutes.
mother.
She's like, "You know
That's
what?
what's up.
Let me call the prayer line." I went to the 4-4, the best experience ever. Shout out to anybody who's ever worked in a 4-4. All my friends, like my ride or die friend. Nope, I'm lying. I still got 3-4 friends too. The 4-4, that house, because it was so crazy. I mean, we had people getting shot on the corner of the precinct. My first week in the 4-4 was a drive-by, brand new.
Damn.
I'm forgetting I'm a cop in uniform. They're like, "Officer, I hear the shooting." I'm walking. I'm with somebody on foot, and I'm like, his guts are all out. Homeboy got a gun in his
Yeah.
and I'm not gonna lie, I'm squeamish. I threw up on the side, embarrassed. And I'm like, shit, well, what are we doing? So my boss at the time, who's retired, the best boss in the world, he's like, "You all right?" I was like, this is crazy. He's like, "You need a hug?" I was like, "I don't even." He's like, "Get your fucking stupid ass over there." I was like, I'm like, "Oh my God."
Hey, yo.
And I'm like, "Okay, you right." Even though I grew up in the South Bronx, I wasn't used to this. I'm like,
Yeah.
but this was
That's
before.
real.
It was crazy. It was crazy. It's shooting every night. It was like one side that was kind of okay, then you got the other side that was just wild.
Yeah.
You got to think about the
crazy.
Grand Concourse. My very first day working on foot, this dude is running by with headphones, naked, no clothes, no clothes. I'm looking at my partner and I'm like, I don't know what we stopping him. Like, what are we gonna say? We didn't say something. He's like, "What's up, officer?" He said, "The new class came out. Be safe." He just kept running. We didn't say anything to him. We saw his little butt run by. He kept it moving. Some of the older cops stopped him in the car, threw him in the car. They knew his name. Like, "Yo, Jimmy, come on, get in the car." He like, "Oh, what's up, guys?" And I'm like, "Is that what? So what do you do with that?" You take him to the hospital. I'm like, you see so many wild things. I'm like, but why is he naked with the headphones? Like, what is he listening to? And he don't got no clothes on. But this is the Bronx. Like, this is the Bronx. This is the Bronx. I learned how to fingerprint from a scalper. My first arrest was a scalper. So he said, "You look real clean." I'm like, "Yeah, I just got here." He's like, "All right, let me teach you something." The black guy. He said, "Pay attention." He said, "When you fingerprint, look them in their eye." And I said, "Okay." He said, "Look me in my eye." I'm like, "All right." Mad aggressive. So he's showing me how to roll the fingers. And I appreciated him. He said, all right. And when you out there, he said, I don't care if you scared. Don't be scared outside. He said, you always be tough, okay? And I'm like, I'm like, shit, this is going to be my uncle or something. I seen this dude for the whole 10 years I was in the Bronx. And he was like, every time I saw him, he's like, I was her first. Remember that? I'm like, you making it sound a little weird now, but it
Oh shit.
but I must say, I learned a lot. Like the Bronx was probably my favorite borough to work in. I'm sorry, Manhattan. But because the Bronx is so real. Like it is what it is. Either they gonna love you and they gonna love you up front, or they gonna hate you and they gonna hate you up front. So yeah, I love working in the Bronx. Not there anymore, but I did love working in the Bronx.
Okay.
Man. All right.
I'm sorry. Y'all gotta tell me when to cut it because I be chatting.
No.
No, you're doing
you.
fine. You're doing fine. I'm just trying to tag along to keep the flow. So you mentioned some circumstance and situation. So what was your funniest situation that you've been in your career that you can remember?
Was I told you my mom is mean, getting in trouble at work. Earlier on in my career, we're driving around. It's like we see a car runs like 2 red lights. I'm like, damn, what's going on? Pull the car over. The person I was working with goes on the passenger side. I go on the driver's side. As I'm getting close, I see an older woman, and she goes to look and goes, Keisha, please. And I'm like, when am
Keisha. That's hilarious. She said, Keisha, please.
I'm like, damn, I'm 20 something years. I'm still getting in trouble. I'm 25 at the time. I'm like, I'm getting in trouble. I'm like, Mom at work. I'm like, she can't do that to me. I'm embarrassed. I'm like, I'm not even on car. You can't do that. She's like, well, you should have known her car. I didn't know her car. I haven't been to church. I'm like, can you tell her just don't do that? Like, at least talk to me for a second. Like, don't make it look good.
He drove off and she like, yeah, I don't care if you're a cop.
And
I
had
mean,
no
you a
audacity.
baby.
I'm like, I'm sitting here trying. I had to pull over. I said, let me take the car out the car. I'm like, Ma, this you can't do. I can't do that. Like, I'm an adult. I'm like an adult now. She's like, yeah, but no, baby, you don't do that. I'm like, okay.
I wouldn't try to hear that.
I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's funny,
Yeah,
man.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Mama reach is long. So that probably was the funniest and most embarrassing. Like, wow.
How about your first arrest? Like how you felt? Were you nervous? Where you was at? Like how you felt? Like damn, I put a cuff on somebody.
No, you know what? I gotta say I wasn't nervous. Homeboy was so cool. It was nothing for me to be nervous about. Like this was routine to him. He was scalping outside of 161st, and he made everything go so smooth until I had a real arrest where it's like something crazy was going on. In my mind, I'm like, oh, you know what? This is not that bad. This is probably not that bad. So I want to say he set me up for failure because the arrest after that one was
rough.
So I think that first arrest, I was thankful to get a couple of pointers from him, but I learned very quickly that everybody is not like that. Everybody's not going to turn around and put their hands behind their back and just listen to you. There's going to be people who they want to square up. I learned my second arrest, I think we stopped like a bunch of people, me and 2 guys. And I don't know why men, I got a question for y'all too. I don't know why men do that. It was like guy, me, guy. And I'm looking at the guy and I'm like, oh, he gonna swing or something. He was like, yeah, I'm not going. And I just felt I felt that it was about to happen. He definitely swung and caught me in the mouth. And I was like, what the fuck? But I didn't geek out on some, oh my God. So I swung back. So we're fighting. No, you're not shooting nobody for swinging at you. So we're fighting, of course. You know, the guys are kind of like, damn, these are 2 guys that have more time on than me, that have been on the job longer than me. So they're letting me do my thing because they're like, nah, you got to learn. So I got him in handcuffs. So now it was a party that night. I'll never forget it. My hair's looking crazy. My nose is running. And I'm thinking in my head, like, all right, I did it. But in my heart, I'm like, my face hurts so bad. So I'm dying to get back to the precinct. And I look in the mirror and I have to bring up, my circle is very tight. So when I have things that go crazy at work, I usually call 2 people. So y'all might know how I give my girlfriend, Brina, a call. That's my bestie. And I'm calling her and I'm like, I just got punched in the face. So she's like, you got 5 seconds to get it together. She said, well, is it broken? I'm like, no, my nose is not broken. She's like, well, get your makeup kit put your face back on, do your hair back up, and get back out there. I'm like, okay, okay. So that was our 5-minute breakdown. We called it confess to the preacher. So whenever some shit is going wild, I'm like, hey, you busy? I need to do a confession. And she's like, go. You got that 5 seconds.
Oh, that's dope.
So that 5 seconds, I don't think she realized how important those 5 seconds are to me. That second arrest, I definitely was calling her like, yeah, he just rocked me crazy. But after that was a learning experience. I was like, oh, okay, I see you always gonna try to hit the female. I'm gonna hit you first. So that now, like, well, what happened? And he was gonna try it, so I'm gonna hit you first, just to get it out. Let's get it out the way. Let's get it out the way.
So
But
after he hit you in your face, right? You ain't take the nightstick. You didn't do nothing.
Look, this man.
my instinct was to swing back. So, and of course, I'm gonna be honest. I swung and they swung, so everybody
That's
was
what I'm
swinging.
saying. I knew something
no,
had to happen.
everybody-
He don't just get the punch you in your
No,
face.
everybody jumped it. I think he wanted to do a punch and run. He probably thought he was gonna rock me and run away. It was like, no, you swung, I swung, and the other guy just caught him right there. So now you're getting stomped out. And this was,
DX in the building.
right,
That's a stomp out.
you know,
Shout out to the boys in blue. Shout out to the boys in blue, yeah.
Shout out to you.
yeah.
Shout out.
We
Shout out.
don't. Shout out to everybody that's done this whole 18 for me, because it's been rough. But that was
So
a real
speak
person.
about that a little bit.
Go.
Speak about that a little bit. You now in year 18, right? So from year 1 to year 18, what are some of the you
Break it
seen
up, bro.
in the department, your police?
The changes, a lot.
Yeah.
Miss it. What are the changes? Sadly, people are not as tight as they used to be. You could be, let's say your day is over at 3:30. If somebody's calling for help at 3:35, let's say you're still in the building, you're still running out. Right now, everybody is the climate is so rough. Like, nobody really likes us. In 07, 08, 09, even in 2015, people didn't like us, but it wasn't this heavy. So everybody's so like, and I get it. Nobody wants to lose their money or lose their livelihood, but people don't stick together as much. And that's a bad thing, because at the end of the day, we all we got. So if you got to think, if you guys are calling us and you need help and we don't got anybody to help us help you, what are we doing? So I think over the years, the camaraderie has definitely changed, and that's because of just different situations that have happened on the job. I think back in the day when I came on and we were only getting paid $25,100. Who was taking? That was like having a McDonald's job. You're not making no money. So when you became a cop, you wanted to be out there. You didn't want to be out there, for the most part. I want to say the people that I graduated with, you wanted to be out there to make a difference. Me, I was that person. Like, why do you want to become a cop? My God, I want to save the world. I want to help people. I want to see people like me out there. That was my reason. No, the pay is way different. I think their pay scale, let's say they're starting at like 65,000, you're getting a different type of person. You're getting a person that's motivated by money, not that really feels like no, I want to be out there. I want to be in the street. I want to figure out why the youth are not doing what they need to do. Why is there no programs? I want to help that mother that's going through domestic violence. I want to make a difference. I want to help the old lady. I want to help people. So it looks like for my 18 years, that's what's changed. On a good note, because I never like to be too negative, technology has changed tremendously with the NYPD. We get phones now. You can do so much and find out so much on your phone. Everything happens through a phone. You can do classwork, or you can do trainings on your phone or through Zoom or something like that. Technology is different. There's more opportunities now. Whereas before, certain units are open. They're open to more diversity hires now. When I first came out, a lot of people didn't want a female on their team. And that was because females are distracting. You kind of cute. It's like, do I want to sit here with this girl all day? And then you also feel like you got to protect that female. And, in no way, shape, or form is any woman stronger than any man. So it's not even a sign of being protecting. You're gonna automatically want to protect that girl. So it's like you looked at the female as if she was dead weight. I never wanted to be that female. So any team that I was on, I could hold my own. No, I was not Iron Mike. No, I couldn't beat the world. But I'm gonna work you out a bit until whatever I had on my Batman belt, I'm gonna work you out until somebody else tags themselves in to help me out. So now people are more open to women being on their teams because women, we have the gift of gab. Sometimes you need a female to come in and rock you out of sleep. Like, you know what? Men on men, y'all bump heads so bad, but sometimes you see a smile and a pretty face, and it's like, okay, wait a minute, let me see what she got to say.
Calm down. You
Right.
more.
The whole situation, it goes a little bit
De-escalated a little
right.
Yeah,
Or
like
it works in the other aspect where it's like, why is she even talking to me? So now the men start to bond, and it's like, all right, cool. Either way, it worked out. So
it works out good. They be like, calm down, like I'm gonna take you home to my house.
no,
That's like a good. Oh,
What?
no, that's a no. That yo, you know what? It's so funny. It's funny that you say that. That's all. I always laugh at that because I remember fingerprinting somebody, and this guy's like, "What you doing after this?" I'm like, "What? I'm fingerprinting you. I'm no, like no.
Nigga, you're not even gonna be doing that. You going to the cell
You
right
What
here.
you doing after this? You gonna be in the box.
This
I'm
shit,
gonna
this
go
shit
get
say
a
warrant.
sandwich. That's what I'm gonna do
You got
after
a
this. I'm
warrant.
gonna go get something to eat. I don't know what you're doing after this. I'm gonna go get something to eat. You probably going to Bookings. It's gonna be cold.
Yeah.
You gonna get your peanut butter and jelly. I'm gonna probably go get something else to
Peanut
eat.
butter and jelly.
my lord.
Yo, it's your cheese and mayonnaise sandwich. That's you
No,
gonna get cheese and mayonnaise.
they don't even do that. It's peanut butter and jelly. It's peanut.
Oh,
You know
what?
what?
Yeah,
They
see,
got
I'm
the.
doing good.
They got you
Knock
good.
on wood.
Some
I ain't get locked up in a long time. So
That's
I'm
good.
getting cheese and mayonnaise.
That's
Just get a
good.
little fake Gatorade, a little
That's
bit
it.
of
salute Sarah.
That's
Yeah,
Don't be
another
these
locked
thing.
up.
sandwiches.
It's always it's funny seeing people that I know also getting locked up because some people
How do you?
some
Yeah, how do you
people
deal
will
with
respect
that?
it to be like they'll say my last name. Other people like, yo, Keish. I'm like, well, what's up? What's going on? They're like, no, some people, I don't know what type of miracle they think I'm gonna work, and I'm like, you
Yeah.
already here. I don't. You want something
Yeah,
to
yeah,
eat?
not gonna do for
I
you,
got you
man.
on a burger. You want a soda? You want me to call somebody
Yeah.
for you?
Yeah.
I can't do nothing else for you. And then there's some
Yeah.
people that will not talk to me at all. And I'm like, you don't gotta act like you don't know me, but it's not too much I could do for you. But that's always interesting. I bumped into a female. They got locked up. And I was like, I looked at her paperwork. I said, oh, you did that. Damn. I was like, I was like, you need anything? She was like, no. I gave her a pound and kept it moving. And I wound up,
She's a G.
Feelings,
She is a G.
and I wind up seeing her in Salsa not too long after that. And we spoke
Hey,
about it.
like,
And I'm like, you know
like,
Hey,
what?
New York is something else.
I feel like when people get arrested, that's you having a bad day. And you just happen
heavy
to
though.
tag us in. I tell anybody that I've ever arrested, it's like, listen, if you in my handcuffs, I'm not gonna treat you mean. You whatever you did it. It's over. You gotta be with me
It's
for a
done.
few hours. I don't like negativity, so I'm gonna share my snacks with you. Like I don't know. I'm dieting right now, so I only got peanuts. So if anybody's coming in here, they don't like my snacks that I got right now. I got a lot of fruits and vegetables. But for the most part, I can't see myself being mean to you because you're already in a situation you don't want to be in.
Mhm.
And you know,
Yeah.
half the time, if you getting arrested, you kind of threw my day off. So I'm trying to keep you calm because I want to go home. So
Yeah.
it's unless you can bring out Keisha from the block, you're gonna get the nice professional Keisha. If Keisha from the block is coming out, you did it to yourself. You definitely did it to yourself.
So another big thing we want to speak to you about is So how was that with your life, like with your life at home and your life at work? How did did it collide, or was you able to separate work and my life at home?
You can't. You really can't because there is no separate life. Like it's one big melting pot. I'll say for me, I guess some people to a certain extent you can. I want to say as soon as I became a cop, probably the next year, I happened to be out and about, and I did tell him I was going to talk about this. And I was in like this lounge with my girls, and I see this dude. I'm at the bar, and somebody comes over and it's like, oh, you're buying me a drink, whatever. I'm like, whatever. And we start talking, and before I knew it, the club is closing. And I'm like, oh my God, we've been here talking for the whole time. From that day, me and Homeboy became inseparable and had two beautiful kids. And we did what we do like 16 years together. And I'll
Wow.
say I could understand we had a lot of rough patches because as a new officer, I was excited. I was excited with making arrests, with hanging with, you know how you got your coworkers that are just fun. You want to hang with your coworkers. I dove right into the culture. So I had to figure out how am I balancing, I'm still a young lady. I'm 25, 24, 25 years old. I want to be out and about, but I also want to work. And we do get stuck at work a lot.
Yeah.
And so the life was just, it wasn't meshing well. So I tried to pull him into my life at work, which just wasn't working also. So I might have neglected my house a little bit, keeping up with work. Not that I was dealing with anybody at work, but just like, oh, I want to make an arrest. Okay, I see, I knew I always wanted to make detective. So in order to, you want to be a standout person in any job, you want to be the superstar. So
Mhm.
trying to be the superstar, I wasn't coming home. I was always tired. So my home life started to decline a little bit because of work, and I had to make a choice. What do I want to keep? Of course, I want to keep home. So trying to keep home happy, work started to decline. So it's like
Mhm.
that. How do you balance that? So looking back at the whole situation now, I mean, as we grew, and we were both young. I met him when I was 22 years old, 22, maybe 23. Looking back, I had to acknowledge, I took some, what's that word, accountability. That's in, everybody's throwing that word out there. And I had to say,
Exactly.
like, if I could do it over, I would have had a better work life balance.
Out of that fucking word.
Accountability,
Accountability.
right? So
Yeah.
I'm here for the ladies. So but
No.
accountability. But you know what? And that's me. That's probably the first time I would ever admit that I had a little bit of a hand in bringing on that demise. But
Mm.
I will say, if you're gonna date a female officer, you got to be understanding, and you got to understand, like, it's gonna be nights where this young lady, your mate is not coming home, or they're out there with the fellas, and it's not. I mean, the stereotype is so vivid of they're all dating. That's every job. Look at the hospital workers. When
Yeah.
when you're around somebody for a long period of time and you just mesh with them, it doesn't mean that you have to be messing with them. You got to be with this person for so long, you would want to get along with them. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So I done messed up and jumped off the question. It's working. I'm working. Like, how was it? It meshed well sometimes. I mean, we were able to do 16 years. Until it just didn't work anymore. But in the beginning, it was very rough. The first 2, 3 years, it was rough. And then you throw kids into the mix of it. It's like, I still wanted to be a superstar, and I'm a mommy now. So it's like, okay,
Mhm.
like, what are we doing? Either you're gonna be a mother and a wife,
Yeah.
or you're gonna be a cop. And I was like, I want to do all three. I want it all, and I still want to have
Damn.
fun. So
Damn. I
yeah,
want to shout out. I want to shout out Keith. You got to do a. Okay, we got to clap. The first black female that took accountability for her messing up.
There you go. Applaud. That's growth right there. Growth.
Both right there.
definitely growth. That is definitely growth. So I could, yeah.
Yeah.
So take heed. Take heed.
That's what's up.
Let's see.
I will never admit that again though. But
There we go. See, there we
It's
go.
out there now. They just gotta
I could
rewind it.
definitely, I could be honest. I could be honest and say I did have to. It was me a little bit. It was, but in my defense, it was something new, and I dove all the way into work. So I mean, in my older age now, I think I do a pretty good job at balancing out home and work. And
Okay.
that's in regards to my kids and regards to my mate. I think I do a way better job now at balancing out my time. Now I know I can only go out one night a week, not 4 times a week, or sometimes I gotta, you gotta give up that big case and go. I gotta go home. Like, this is nice, but I gotta go home.
There
So
we go. There we go.
So
I
I
had
got
a
a question.
question.
Hold on. I got a
You got
question.
something? Go ahead.
I'm like, I'm not, I don't mess with the police too much, but do you
Damn,
think
Rob.
the police, no, I'm keeping it honest, like, do you think crime is high right now, or you think it's low right now? Like, as far as like what's going on, the atmosphere right now, like, as far as the immigrants and all that stuff going on, like,
it
you think
is,
the crime,
yes, it is. It is high. It is that. I mean, and you know what? This is not even me talking about something that I can't talk about. If you're looking on the news, like the migrants that we're getting over here from what, let's say Venezuela, they're sending over people as per the news,
Yeah.
people that were in the jails, right? We're getting like the worst of the worst people over here. Some of the crimes that are being committed over here, it's not us. It's not us, meaning it's not the New Yorkers, it's the people that are coming from other places. Was the city bad? Absolutely. Is it worse? Absolutely. Even now, you even have some of the, I'm walking past some of the toughest people on the block, and they're looking at me like, yo, what are y'all doing about this? And I'm like, honestly, oh, we don't.
That's
We
crazy.
don't have the numbers anymore. Like
That's crazy.
we don't have the numbers anymore. So now you're seeing a lot of crimes. And you guys see it on the news. They're fighting the cops. What was that? A few months ago,
Yeah,
you had
on
the
46.
you had a
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
couple of
they,
the
yeah,
Mike that
yeah.
they jumped the officers, and I'm like, Dag, it's not. You're not really hearing about things that are happening from the New
We just
Yorkers. You're hearing about the outside people
I
doing
just
was
things.
found out.
wondering, like, yeah, I'm sorry, you good.
Oh, God.
No, we just
No,
found
he
out
was gonna say
yesterday.
something.
Just found out yesterday. Your boy was saying that the Haitians eating like cats and all that stuff, and cats and
Oh yeah, that
dogs.
shit.
So I was like,
The fellas
damn,
said
like,
that. The
yeah,
fellas said
like,
that.
and I'm just
So
like, what's up with that, man?
I don't know where that came from. That's all over social media and that whole
So
block.
yeah,
But then if we want to be real with each other, we all grew up we all ate cat, rat, dog, everything.
Oh, slow down.
nah, nah, yeah,
From the
Hey, no
Chinese
one knows what
restaurant?
they
Come
ate.
on.
Nobody know what they
I
ate when they was
didn't,
getting them
I
spare
didn't,
rib tips.
Don't
no,
Everybody ate it.
I didn't eat
Nobody know what it
that.
was.
Yeah. Got that pork fried rice.
Yeah, you thought it
all that
Yeah.
low
Fine.
main. Like we all
Yeah. Oh yeah.
survived. We're
Oh yeah.
being healthy. We all ate a cat. It's okay. Like we
See,
So,
we think.
so
Hey,
when
I
why
had
the
a question before
let me
we
try to
went
go.
off. When you mentioned you were multitasking. You were a mom. You were an officer. You were a spouse. You were multiple things, right? So your mental health. How was it dealing with all those things, trying to keep a balance?
It had to be okay because I'm gonna say as a woman first, we don't get the time to break down. We don't get a moment, and not saying that men don't go through it. I'm not gonna say that, but we don't get as a female. You don't really get that moment to lose it and break down. You don't really get it mentally. You know, you're coming to work. I would say you're coming to work and you're seeing the worst of people's days. You got people shot, people dead. It's crazy. You're coming home, you may have your mate complaining like, listen, you got to do better. I need you to cook more. I need you to whatever. And then you got your kids like, mommy, 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 mommy. And then it was a lot.
Mm.
I could say early on, I probably did church more. I haven't been to church in a long time, but that
No,
used to
Keish, you're
help.
back.
I definitely need to get back. I totally 1,000% agree. I journal. Like I'm very verbal. If you know me, I'm extremely verbal. So me, whenever I felt whatever I was feeling, I
Mm-hmm.
journal. I journal everything. Like, you know, I want to say shout out to myself. When I do retire, the book is gonna be wild. I need y'all to read it.
Oh man,
Because you'll get the real story of what it was like doing
I got
the
you.
multitask.
Understood.
But mental health wise, I gotta do a disclaimer. I am 100% okay. I do not have thoughts of doing anything to myself ever. But
please
I
not.
Great.
will say, at one point when I was separating in my relationship with their dad, did I have a bit of a breakdown? That was probably the first time in my life I ever felt like, oh my God, it's too much. Because you think the person that you've done, I literally started all of this with this. So when everything's going wrong, this is who I ran to. So you have work going wrong, home's going wrong. That was probably the first time I ever had an actual like breakdown. And I could say my female circle stepped up tremendously. You gotta lean on the people who see you crying when you have no tears coming out. When you're not saying nothing and they can hear you reaching out for help. And I could say the step up was amazing. And I think I want to say I had a nice little month-long break of just getting my thoughts together and getting myself together. And I came back a stronger person. So mentally, I probably get, and that's me being honest. Transition in my life definitely caused a bit of a breakdown. So yeah, I learned from that it's not embarrassing to talk to a therapist. It's not embarrassing
That's
to
yeah.
say, it's not embarrassing to say, if somebody asks you, are you okay? No, I'm not today. And not saying that that you're gonna do something to yourself, but you know what? No, I'm not okay today. I'm not feeling it today, but hopefully I'll feel better tomorrow. And
Right.
sometimes you gotta say that because if you're walking around and you're and I think people don't realize that too with police officers. You're walking around and you're carrying a load of whatever. You don't know what's going on in somebody's life, but they're walking around, even like you guys. You guys go to work every single day. Who knows what type of morning you had at home? And then you go to work and people can't understand. Well, like, well, why are you snapping at me or why are you so quiet? You know, I think we all need to address our mental health issues a little bit more,
Uh,
Definitely.
especially as people that we, you know, in our culture, we don't accept that. We don't accept the let's go to therapy or let's talk to somebody.
Talking about the problems and stuff like that.
It's very
Yeah, you're
taboo.
right.
It's very taboo. I think from my breakdown, and I will say my job actually sent me to talk to somebody. And that was the best thing that ever happened to me because I was able to finally let it out. And it wasn't embarrassing. I felt like a weight was lifted. That was like the reset of my
Sure.
life. So it was the worst moment and the best moment simultaneously. And it was nice. I wish that other people felt comfortable just talking about things like that. Unfortunately, they don't, and we have a very high suicide rate with the NYPD because people don't know how to. Not that they don't know. Let me not say that. People aren't comfortable just expressing themselves because people are gonna feel like, oh, you're being weak. It's not being weak. You're human. Like everybody's human all the time. I could say that's probably why I still love this job because I look at everybody as human. A human being that had a bad day. So if you
There we
keep
go.
taking all those bad days and bottling them up inside, you're going to explode. You're going to eventually explode. Oh, we just got real heavy, y'all. We preaching now.
Yeah.
We got heavy.
I was gonna ask, do you believe, not just on the force, just in general, that everybody has some sort of mental illness?
Yes. I feel like not an illness. I think we all have, to a certain degree, some sort of mental health issues, whether it's that you're OCD where everything has to be immaculately clean, or you're obsessive compulsive, or you're not trusting, or you feel like someone's always out to get you. To a certain degree, everybody has it. How controllable it is with your day-to-day life, that's like a functioning alcoholic. You can have 5 drinks a day and still go to work and make everything work. But somebody else probably can't. I think we do definitely all have some sort of mental health issues. We just maintain it differently from person to
Yes,
person.
I agree.
So if
I agree
someone
100%.
said that they don't, what would you say to that?
I'm not a clinician, so I can't go against them and say that they don't. But I mean, if they feel like they don't, they don't. That's just my opinion. I think to a certain degree, everybody has a little something. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
No one's perfect.
We all deal with
What
stuff.
Tyree's trying to get at is nigga perfect. He don't have no problems or nothing.
No,
That's what
I'm
he's trying
not
to say.
saying that. I'm
No,
just saying
no,
I
you
don't
said that the other
believe I
time.
have
You
Yeah,
said
a
it
that's
the
what
mental
he's
other
saying.
time.
illness.
That's what he's
Nigga
saying.
said, yo,
That's
I
what
don't
he's
stress
saying.
over nothing. Nothing
I
bothers
don't.
me.
Yeah,
I
So you
he's
know
don't.
what? Wait, I'm gonna put my clinician cap on for a second. Because as a cop, I'm a therapist, I'm a babysitter,
Yep.
I'm a
talk to him.
warden, I'm a chef.
Talk to him.
Multitasker.
You
Talk
are
to him.
definitely you're doing the avoidance factor. If you
What
never
am I
had anything
avoiding if I don't
wrong,
have nothing
if
to
you're not stressing
stress
over
me out?
anything, that something's wrong.
Time, I
Something's
don't let
wrong.
nothing bother me. I don't think
Don't.
about it, so it's not gonna bother
I
me.
don't think about it.
So you know
I'm
what?
not gonna
That
say
one
it's not
time,
times that
that he explodes, y'all, don't be mad at him because it's all bottled up.
It's something.
It's all bottled up. I don't know if the Don Julio is gonna let it out or him. I don't
I don't
know.
drink.
You don't even drink. You don't
I
even
don't
drink.
drink.
Oh my God,
know.
there's definitely something wrong with you then. You don't drink.
What? I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do none of that. I make sure I pay attention to what's in front of me. That's it.
Okay. So you don't stress over anything at all.
Nothing. He
You don't
said
let that
nothing.
get to him. You don't let that get to him. But he ain't got
Nothing.
no gray hair, nothing. He
Life
said.
is
He
too
don't,
short for that.
All right, I agree with life being too short, but then that you're emotionless. So you're like you're
So I
you're
have
you're
emotion.
the scariest type of person to me because I can't read you. So if you have no emotion, how are you feeling anything?
No, you said I don't have emotion. I have emotion.
Oh, what's the emotion? You said
I could
nothing
I
bothers you.
care. No, nothing stressed me out. Like the stress you're talking about, right? I don't get to that point. I deal with things in front of me. I don't deal with everything else. If what's in front of me, that's it.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Nigga,
Salute,
nigga the
Bobo.
mutant.
Salute,
I wish
Bobo.
I was
He's a
like
mutant.
I wish I had that. You're like a superhero. I wish I had that
Yeah, he's a
superpower
mutant.
because
Yeah.
Salute,
be
salute,
stressing.
Bobo.
Not a mirror.
Salute, RoboCop.
I'm pretty sure there's a
He
lot
said
of people out
RoboCop.
there.
It's my brother.
There's a lot of people out there that
Salute,
feel the
my
same
brother.
way. Everybody don't have a mental illness.
I love you, bro.
Okay.
Salute, baby. Salute, baby.
How crazy, man.
I love y'all too.
Yeah, salute, baby. Yeah, so Kev, come on, let's go
Just
to
wanted
Fuzzy,
to
baby.
get your brand.
Huh?
Yeah.
So, how does it feel to be a detective? How long have you been detective?
Yeah.
Yeah, and a major accomplishment.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's talk about that.
I went into the detective squad in 2019. So what's that? 19, 26,
5 years.
34, 5 years. Thank you. How does it feel to be a detective?
Yeah.
It's awesome. It
There we
is
go.
awesome
Like
because
that.
you
Like
know
that.
what? We are coming in after the fact. So number one, the best part of being a detective is picking out your outfit every day. Some people are not gonna agree with me. That's the best part of my
Okay.
day.
The outfit. There you go.
Now you're
No more
picking out.
uni.
I like to dress, so you're picking out what you're wearing. You're not. It's like you can, you're coming out jazzy. And for some reason, me and my partner, if you follow me on social media, I've had some of the dopest partners, but in the detective squad, I got like the best partner. I'm not knocking nobody else, but my partner Anna Banana. When we come out on the scene, we look like the people in the neighborhood.
There
So
we
Mm.
go. There we go.
most people want to talk like, well, y'all out here for this? Yeah, and it's like, okay, what happened? And our tone is a little unconventional. Like we're always professional, but we're not there with a notepad like, so what happened? Yeah, so what happened? No,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
if
You
you're
relatable.
telling me some nonsense, I'm looking like, come on, really? Come on, stop. But I think the best part of being a detective is actually solving a case. I definitely grew up on my Law and Order SVU, so when I'm seeing Olivia Benson and she's out there, she was figuring that shit out in 1 hour. It's not taking me. It
Yeah.
takes me a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
It takes me a couple of weeks. But when I got it, I got it. And you can tell when I got it because there'll be a little red lobster post like, my God, close that. And I'm sitting there, and a
Mm.
lot of times I'll go by myself and I'll just sit there and I'm recapping in my head, like, all right, you know what, you did A, B, C, and D to get there. I've had cases where I could sit in the bed and I have my laptop and I'm like, babe, do you see anything different than what I wrote down? And I know I can be very annoying where I'm like, well, what you see here? Okay. Well, can we watch it one more time? One more time turns to 4 hours, and I'm watching it 4 or 5 hours. Like being a detective, you're dedicated. That's your baby. Every case
Yeah.
that you get
Wow.
is your baby. I had two women. Okay, I won't speak in depth. I had two women get into something. Something happened to them, unfortunately, not too long ago. And I mean, I did everything that I could to bring this perpetrator to light for these two ladies. And sometimes you just can't do it. The cards didn't
Mm.
pan out. It just
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't happen. But I still felt like I was at least able. I spoke to this lady every day on the phone for like a month. I mean, Father's Day, we were heading to the store. And she called me and I'm looking up at my boyfriend and I'm like, wait, I gotta talk to her real quick because I enjoyed our conversations. I know it was therapy for her. And it also made
Mm.
me feel like, okay, I couldn't quite solve your case, but I'm still gonna be your therapist and try to help you. And
Yeah.
he's looking at me like, really? And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, you gotta give me 30 minutes to just get this out really quickly with her. The best part of being a detective is probably when you actually do solve that case or when you make that person feel better. Because I can't solve every case. But if I at
Mm.
least made you feel a little bit better about what happened and help you not let it happen again, then I feel
Yeah.
like my job is done.
Yep.
Or just
And
showing it like you put in after this. And see,
right.
that shit count too. Yeah.
And no matter what, I don't care. All of these shows, nobody wants to be the commissioner or whoever. Everybody wants to be that detective. So it's
Yeah.
like
Right.
yeah. That's all I got about that. Ish. That's
And
all.
Cool.
something in there that you said that was very important. I think that it's gonna help like with bridging the gap with like no falls for me. Like you said, like just the language, a lot could be solved when police officer pulls up and they from the neighborhood, right? And they know how people act, they know how people talk. And they
Right.
come out with I'm not saying the same language the person has, but just so where a person can see like, what, this person is like me, or
And they're
they can
relatable.
they can
Yeah.
relate to me. Yeah, it's like that would solve a lot of tensions when a cop pull up and not his chest out or beating his chest out. That's just my thing. That's how I feel like we solve a lot with the neighborhood and the police trying to come together, because it's not how it was when we grew up. When we grew up, like I said, the police officer was like a hero. You see police officer, you felt like you were safe. I mean, now I don't know how everybody else feel, but it's like a big gap. So I'm trying to figure how can we close that gap to get it to where I used to be.
I would love if that was how everybody felt now. Like you should feel safe. If we're rolling up, you should absolutely feel safe because you called us because you need help. Whatever is going on in your life, you couldn't quite handle it yourself. So you need help. We should be there. But then you also on the other end, you gotta be ready to receive that. You gotta be able to receive that help. If a police officer is pulling up, and I've had this before, where it's like, we called you 10 minutes ago. We still had to get there. There's a delay in the transmission. Okay, I'm here now. What's going on? And no matter how hard I try to keep it at level 2, like, okay, what happened? Tell me what happened. Nah, fuck that, da da da. And it's like, okay, so at some point, I'm gonna get to that level that you're on, and then it's like now we're both just being ignorant.
Right.
So, if you do, I'll say this: if you're interacting with the cops, if you see that somebody is hopping out and you feel like they're kind of there and they're with with the chest all out, bring them down to your level. Hey, good evening. What's going on? You okay? How's your day going? You're gonna throw the cops off. Like, what? Because nobody ever asked that. Like, so I called you today, and it's like, wait, wow, you just pulled them out of their work mode. You made them human. You just made them human. You okay? How's everything going with you? They're gonna look at you like you're crazy. Like, I don't even know. I'm hungry. I'm tired. Okay, not that you really want to know, but it's like, okay, I wanted to show you that I'm just like you. I just need your help right now. Bring them out of that zone. Or like, let's say you're getting pulled over. Most people are like, oh, what the fuck? What happened? Hey, how you doing? I wouldn't even lead with, I want to ask why I'm getting pulled over. Let them talk to you. Sometimes the dialect, like, sometimes I'll say that too. I'll take more accountability. Sometimes we come off wrong. Sometimes the public comes off wrong. It depends on, we feed off of each other. We definitely feed off of each other. It's not always the cop that's bad. It's not always the civilian that's bad. Sometimes, sometimes it's the cop, sometimes it's the civilian. But you set the tone on how that conversation is gonna go. If you're coming out on 1,000, you're gonna get that cop on 1,000. If you're coming out at 5 and you're at a very monotone voice, and you gotta remember also, in every profession, there is that one guy. There's that one guy. I'm quite sure y'all guys got that one guy at work that you see them and you're like, this dude. Everybody has that. Everybody has that. I think we need more interactions with the public where it's maybe not in uniform, where I think the uniform can be intimidating sometimes because it's like, oh boy, here they go. And really it's not like that. I look at all the videos. I have a few friends that have these videos and they're playing basketball in the community and people are making fun of them. And it's like, well, what do you want them to do? You want them to interact or you don't want them to interact?
Yeah.
If they don't,
That's dope. I like that shit.
Yeah, if they
We
don't
had basketball tournaments against the cops
right.
over here recently too, so that's good.
If there's no
definitely
interaction, then it's like, okay, y'all are all assholes. But then if it is interactions, then it's like it's a funny thing. So it's like, where's the balance?
Correct.
Where's the balance? Like, I think we gotta do for our own kids, because I think the majority, everybody has kids. I mean, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. For our kids, I would hate for any of our kids to have negative interactions with the police. I don't care what job I have. I still have 2 children that I would never want them to get a certain treatment. So I want them to feel comfortable, and your kids comfortable to talk to the police. Like, you know what, if something's going wrong, or just to say what's up, start with that. Tell them, if you see, from when my kids were young, if you see a cop on the street, say hello, give them a pound, say hello, so that the tension isn't really there. So that that is from young, where you feel comfortable actually talking to the cops. Y'all could do that. You see a officer here, how you doing today, officer? Okay, I'm doing good. How you doing? Okay, boom. You're interacting with the same officers all the time in your neighborhood. After a while, they start seeing you, so they're not stopping you. They're like, no, that's nah, that's right. He good. Ain't not going on with him. Or that's Cass.
Yeah.
It's nothing. Like, he's a good. You know what I mean? Take some initiative too.
I agree.
I
And
agree.
people like
I mess with
everyone
the
else,
police,
man.
so I respect those guys.
They're people like everyone else.
I respect those guys.
I mean, I always feel safe. I feel safe. I'm older now, so all that don't talking to cop stuff, I ain't with all that.
Okay,
I need help. I'm too old to be trying to solve issues myself.
that
Call
part.
cops.
That part. Oh, so you calling? Period. Okay.
Yeah, I'm calling.
Okay. All right. All right.
Separate that from everybody else. Okay.
I'll separate it.
Separate
No, but I'm
everybody
actually-
else.
Like you said, they're human, so you just treat them like you want to be treated. I mean, they're no different because they got a uniform.
So Key, so you came with that. What's the opposite of a cop on 1,000 and you on 5 and it's not working? So what do you do then?
Just shut down, because at that point you're not gonna win. If the
Not
cop,
gonna win.
Not gonna win, bro.
and that's me being honest. If the cop is on 1,000 and you see that you're not gonna win, because if you're both on 1,000, you already know you're not gonna win that battle. So shut it down. If they're yelling, it's almost like a kid throwing a tantrum. You done? Okay, you finished? Can I talk now? Can I talk to you? If you see that it's still not working, maybe try to talk to the other officer. because maybe that one person you may not be gelling with them. If there's another person available for you to talk to, try to talk to the other person. But don't try to match that 1,000 because you're not gonna win there. Unfortunately, you're not gonna win if you try to match that 1,000.
Get it? I get it.
You know what? I'm definitely sending you a NYPD hat and a sweatshirt.
Don't get it.
Hey,
Don't get
You
me
gonna
make
do
sure
this
you
at some
make,
point. At some point, yeah.
make sure you include that PBA card too.
I got. You know what? And we spoke about that, right? I did say I do have 4 cards for you guys. I never give out my card.
I
Thank
definitely
you.
need that.
He said, "Oh, I appreciate
Hey,
now.
you know what's funny?
They want the perks, but they don't want to
Right.
love the
You know
cop.
what's
Hey, what's up
that
with
don't
you?
work in VA. They look at it and laugh. They
I
be
know.
like,
They're like, yeah. Anyway, license and registration, please.
Come
yep.
on, child.
They
You
do you
doing,
dirty
child,
in the
man?
country, man.
Yeah.
They just come in well. They cheat you. I mean, I had an
No.
encounter down here early on when I first came down. I asked dude, yo, you not gonna read me my Miranda rights? He said, boy, you know where you at? I said, oh,
I said, boy,
all
see
right.
that
That's
boy
so
stuff would have
crazy
me
that you
on
said that.
1,000,
I
man.
think that New Yorkers don't realize New York is soft. We got it easy here. You try to all of that. I my rights or whatever. You gotta be
Nah.
quiet.
I
You
got
get
my
on
rights
95
done.
with that nonsense. Even me, if I'm getting pulled over, I'm upright. I'm like, how you doing? Hello, I'm sorry. I don't even know what's going on. I'm not trying to move. They are not playing with us out here.
No,
With
Kiesh,
anybody, I don't
sound
care what
like it.
color you are, the type of policing that's going on outside of New York is very different. So
How
all
you
the
clown,
rah-rah and the
bro?
craziness that you trying to pull up here, you could do that. You could throw a tantrum, you could
No,
protest, you could throw yourself on the floor. You pull that out of town,
Keisha, you know why? Because I'm one of them guys where I got my rights. I know my rights. I know
Go
my
ahead,
offenses.
play that game you want
And
to.
then I'm
Give
the
it
one.
Keisha.
Child was telling me, eat, chill with
Talk
that
to him,
right
please.
stuff.
you
I should
know.
know
Told
my
you, tell him to
rights.
chill with that,
Dang.
man. You got to make it home, bro. That's the goal, man. Making it home.
I
That is
want to
the
make it
Like she
goal.
home. I
said,
just
if they on 1,000,
You
you
know
ain't
the
de-escalating that.
no. I just want you to respect me as a man because I'm a demand. I respect as a man. Like that's all I'm gonna stand on. Like
okay.
especially if like if we grown, right? I'm a grown ass man. I'm work, home, family. Like you never catch me doing nothing where I need to be arrested, right? So if you
Okay.
if you bothering me, I'm coming from work, or you just bothering me, I'm not gonna be like, listen, I'm a comply, but I mean, you gotta talk to me with respect, like like say if I'm in the house and you knocking on my door, like yo, who's in the house? I'm gonna tell you, get a warrant and buy. Like I'm not wrong for that, right?
No, but I'm gonna tell you.
Thank you is a but.
Look,
Yes.
even and this is me. This is me, but this is what I'm getting from you.
Yep. Yep.
I'm
This
not
is
doing that.
me
I'm
and
not. No,
you.
I'm not
He
doing that.
doing that.
But
I'm not
He
doing
this
doing
is
that.
that.
me
See,
and you.
no,
So I could imagine if you don't know the person.
no,
So
I'm not.
if
I'm not. I'm
if
not
you
gonna do all
giving
that
that
neck and all that.
energy, right?
Yeah,
You gotta think they gonna give it back.
I don't know.
Boom. Yeah.
I mean, you're right. Like I said, that's why these talks, the last officer and you, it's had me seeing a little. Maybe I'm a, you know, like I said, I haven't had a run-in with a cop since what 2017, so it's been a long time. And I try to stay away from that, but I do know if something happened, I'm calling the cops first, right? Instead of tapping,
Right.
I'm getting the phone. Call the
Right.
officer to come help me. So yeah, I'm to the point where I know that I need a police officer. Son, I ain't got time for nothing else. But
Right.
just that, I hope when I come to counter with them, it's a positive one, not one that I had an attitude that day.
You gotta remember, and this is elementary. You gotta give what you want to receive. So if you're giving that, and like I said, I'm looking at you and I'm getting this.
Nah, don't do that. Don't
And
do
I'm
that. Don't
like,
do
oh
that.
my
Don't
God,
do
it's
that.
me though. Like, so
Don't do
if
that.
you're feeling that, you gotta think. And
No.
I'm a female, a man, and you said you want to be respected as a man. Men always seem to have issues with other men, and especially if you throw in some authority into it, right? You already
That-
respected as a man. So you don't need this person that you don't even know. He's gonna respect you. If you're let's say you're getting stopped or whatever. You know that you work hard, and I commend all of you guys for that. You know that you guys are not the average. You're not the average. I'm seeing you every week. Like, damn, I just saw you in here. I've never seen you in a precinct. You guys take care of your families. Kudos to you, Kings.
Thank
But if you
Appreciate it.
know that
Thank
already,
you.
then you don't even need to approach the situation with that. Oh, you gonna respect me as a man? Hey, what's going on,
Right.
officer? How can I help you? What's going on? Is everything okay? Because that's what I would want to know. Is everything okay? Because there's really no reason for you to be stopping me. I'm not in that lifestyle. But you got to remember, whatever energy you pushing out,
You're gonna match it.
it's
But
going to match
you
it.
120%, because I was driving, and I can admit this is my fault, right? Because even also told me, like, if you was calmer, I would have not did anything. I just got a new vehicle and I was driving, and I had plates on it, but I had plates in the back. Plates in
Okay.
the front kept falling off. So I had the plates inside the window shield. So I'm in the Bronx driving. You hear me?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And he pulls me over, and then I had my daughter in the car, right? Because I just came from get my daughter from school, so I had my daughter in the car. He comes, so he taps the window, put the window down, and he's like, your plates sit on the front. So I'm like, yo, I just got my daughter from school. I'm going home. Like, plates fell. I clipped it right here. I'm trying to get it fixed. And he was like, I know. I'm just letting you know. I'm looking like, get me chicken, get out of my face. And the fact that I told him that, right? He was like, yo, brother, I was gonna let you go. I was just telling you that your place is down. I'm gonna give you a warning. Go take care of that. But because you said that, now I'm gonna give you what you want. Now I'm gonna give you a ticket. So now I'm looking at him like my mom looking like, damn, I should have just kept, I should have just, I should have kept my composure.
Did a tie move. Did a tie move.
I couldn't have kept my
It's
No
bro.
I
stress.
could have kept my composure and just chilled out. That was lesson learned. If they come, let me just relax. It just past dealing with the cops. It's past dealing with that the way I am like that. It's past stuff. Ain't got nothing to do with that. But like I said, so
I think you got to remember also, like, every cop isn't the cop. Let's say you had a bad interaction with one cop.
Mhm.
Every cop is not that cop.
Yeah.
Every person is not that person. So whatever happened with the last person, that may not be the type of time that next officer is on. So he's probably looking at you like he might have been trying to tell you like, oh, you missing a plate.
Yeah, and
Just handle that up.
and I was in the wrong.
And you like
I was in the wrong. I should have just played
but
it
that's
cool.
cool that you can
Yeah.
admit that.
Yeah, I can admit it. I was in the wrong.
Yeah.
That's why I said these talk with an officer really is helping me because, like I said, I need to calm down. But I'm just trying to it's helpful, very helpful. It's helpful. I didn't argue with Ty and care about E. It's not about rice all the time because I'm very high on that, right? But it's like you gotta just chill out. Like you gotta make it home, stuff like that. So I'm trying to take both. It also got me going crazy when I be on YouTube and seeing all these officers beating somebody up, and I'm looking like that grinds my gear on YouTube with these, putting these videos of police officers.
Let's talk about that. We see a lot of that on the internet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I can say personally, so sometimes it is horrid. Some of these things are unwarranted. Yeah. I could also play devil's advocate. Sometimes you getting half the video.
Yeah.
So like let's say y'all see a video with me and you like, wait, damn, what happened? What caused me to react like that?
Two sides of a story.
Right. I'm not saying anybody's always right, but there's always another side to how did we get to that point?
Mm-hmm.
How do we get to that point? Or how do we get to the point where it's just out of control?
No, I agree. I agree. Social media period could be detrimental to a lot of people because it takes the mind a lot, good and bad.
We glorify the bad situations. Nobody really wants to see the good part of anything. It's like it's not entertaining unless something's bad, or everybody wants to see like people posted on their pages where it's like you want to see the violence all the time. We never really see all the good stuff that happens with police officers. I had the pleasure of being an Explorer coordinator for about 7 years, right? So that was like a mentoring program, and I have about 10 college graduates, full scholarships. I have about 5 or 6 of my kids that are now police officers.
Wow.
And it's like that part you'll never hear about. You'll never hear about trips that we've taken. You'll never hear about anything. The Explorer program only became relevant when the young man Junior was murdered, right?
Man, yeah.
Because he was an explorer. So that's the side of NYPD that you never see. You're always gonna see NYPD beat up and shot somebody, or you're always gonna see the bad. You'll never see any of the good stuff, and which is disheartening. Is there some times where there is an abuse of force? Yes, there's been times of that. Is there sometimes where some of that force may have been needed? Absolutely. Absolutely. So it's like, which it all depends on how the media is spinning it. There's situations that I've been involved in, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's already on the news, but that's not even how it happened.
Damn.
Well, that was
Fake
5 minutes
news.
ago,
Fake news.
right?
So,
But it's entertaining.
yeah.
The bad aspect of it is
People love that.
it's entertaining. It's all entertaining. So
Yeah,
it's
people
like
love that. They
that's
vibe.
what we feed. That's what we feed off
Mhm.
of. I would so welcome like an actual table talk where we're doing some kind of let's take it off of the podcast, and we got to get you interacting with the boys in blue a little bit more so that you don't feel you're not
I'm
giving them that.
I'm
Let
open.
me roll up.
I'm open to it.
No, we
I'm
want
open
that.
to it. I'm open to it. Anything where just to help me close the gap and bridge it. Right? Like I said, I got a son, and
Yeah.
and so I'm down for any of that. Willing to learn, willing to educate myself.
Oh, I'm definitely sending an invite. You coming to the cookouts now?
I don't
Yeah.
want I don't
To the
want
Hey,
you to
send
cookouts.
the
think.
invite.
That's
That's good
I don't
networking,
want to think
man.
officers. It's
Good
just
networking.
had bad experience with officers, but like I said, we older now, and I just if I need you, I need you. If not, I just don't want to really be dealing with.
So you're a user.
No, I'm just
So
saying.
Yeah, you using it.
I'm just saying, like, no, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, if I need you that moment, cool. But I just don't want like I'm going about my day. I don't want to be bothered. I want to get to where I'm going and get back home. That's it. I just want to get home.
okay.
I want to get to where I'm going and get home, and that's it. But I'm respectful enough if they stop me. It's all good. That was
Okay.
the last.
Somebody broke through. Somebody got through
There
the
you
E.
go.
Somebody.
Yeah, you
'Cause,
did it. Let's give a round
yes,
of
give
applause.
Keisha a round of applause because
That's how you
Brought
full
him over
time.
to the other
I was
side.
You on
scared
Thank
for the
you.
line.
guy.
Like,
I was like, man, I'm gonna get that call. It's gonna be bad, man. But I'm glad you got through to him, Keisha. But
That's how
We
you full.
we gonna wrap it up, man.
hold on,
We had a
before we
good
wrap it up.
time. We appreciate.
Hold on, Cash. Before we wrap it up, I want to say this because you mentioned something, right? So the reason why we kind of created this platform was to promote positivity,
right.
right? And we want to act with, or we want to bridge the gap, I should say, what he was saying, with not just ourselves, but with the
Okay.
youth
Right.
and everything like that. So we are going to start trying to be more involved in the communities that we grew up in, that we live in, and try to do something. So, you just mentioning that was what we were trying to do, and I appreciate you. I know the guys appreciate you
100%.
coming on
100%. Thank you, Keisha.
and
Appreciate it.
enlightening us
Thank you,
and
guys.
sharing your story. So, thank you. And if we
Thank
can
you.
work together in the future to help kind of bridge that gap, and if you need us for anything, you want to come on here, promote something, like you said, you retire, you're gonna have your book. You can come on here, share
I'm
that.
so
But
looking forward to that. Thank you.
We
yeah,
appreciate it.
but
Appreciate it so much.
anything y'all got going on that we could be a part of, because we're looking for a bunch of things to start doing to help the communities out there.
You know what? We have the
Correct.
holidays coming up. Thanksgiving is always a big one. There's
Oh,
always turkey drives. We have.
You did.
I should definitely plug you guys in.
yes,
Would be
please.
cool with the Explorer program. That's something to start from the ground up because there's so many different avenues to go with that. There's the resume writing courses. There's applying for colleges. There's the dress drives for proms. Like everybody doesn't have sons. We got some daughters out there.
Right.
You guys can hit me on the sidebar.
100%.
And we will definitely talk about what the upcoming events are. And let's get out there and let's bridge the gap so that, like I said, our kids are not going through, unfortunately, the things that, some of you guys or, may have went through with dealing with negative interactions with the police. So, yeah,
We down.
I think this is.
We definitely you give me a call, but I'm pretty sure we all gonna run. Because you said you came, I called you, sent you a message, and you responded back, and you kept your word. I appreciate it. I didn't have to chase you. I'm down. Let's do it, and we appreciate that. We really, like I said, we trying to do something positive. Like Todd said, we trying to know that we not on here talking nonsense. We can be on here talking garbage every week. We trying to talk to
Right.
positive people who's doing something in the community, and like I said,
Any
we getting better little by little. Like I said, because we going the route, we going the hard route. We trying to talk to the positive people and do positive things. We ain't trying to just jump into the garbage. So like I said, we thank you. We appreciate you coming on, telling your
Thank
story.
you guys for inviting me. Thank you. Thank you for just trying to open up the dialect where you're seeing a different aspect of law enforcement. Thank you, thank you. You have my number. If you guys need something from me, I'll definitely get those cards in the mail for you.
Call us, Keisha.
I got you. I got you.
Thank you.
This was awesome, you know. So this is Bridging the Gap Day 1.
Day one.
That's right.
Day one.
Thank
More
you
to
so
come.
much. So, okay.
And hopefully you can help us find that man when you get a chance.
You know what? That's my next case. I'm gonna take this very personal because that's my friend too.
Yeah.
That is my friend too.
Yeah.
So I'm on
We
it.
lost him. We're trying
All
to
right.
find that man.
I'm on it. I'm about to make a little missing flyer for him too. Throw it out there.
Go out there.
I'm about to call him
man.
myself because
Call him, please.
I don't know.
Call him, please.
I'm about to.
Call him.
If you can, please reach out.
He should
and
be a
figure out
host
what's
on this
going
show
on. I
with
hope
us.
his
That's how
mental
much
is
I
we
know.
got.
He's supposed to be on
Y'all
here.
whole clique is y'all missing
We're missing
y'all
the last
missing
one.
Yeah.
Missing the last one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is the last one.
Yep. Definitely the last one. So,
I thought he was just being shy. I was like, oh, he don't want to be on it.
shy.
I didn't.
Nah, nah.
He's been shot for 4 years. Yeah.
He went into this funk, and then he did it in phases. But I mean, we'll talk about that another time.
But
you know.
remember,
get into that.
Long story short,
we're gonna save him.
Yeah.
We're gonna all save him. It's a team effort.
I'm gonna close out.
I'm the quiet one, not Henry. Henry told more than me.
And
You're not quiet.
this is 100% fact.
You're not quiet.
And like I said, if he watching this, if he does tune on, Henry, we got love for you. You know we love you, bro. You know how it is,
Says
man.
they,
You know, that's my brother. I love you, man. And but listen, whatever it is, it ain't never too late, bro.
Henry, reach out. Come on, we go back. Look, this is 9th grade. This is from 9th grade. Call somebody.
That's a long time.
That's a long time. You could call me too.
Yes, sir.
My number has not
man.
changed. We just want to make sure you're okay.
That's it. Make sure you're all right, bro. Thank you, Keisha. We appreciate it so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Good time.
Thank you. We enjoyed.
Is that time? Everybody at 99%?
Yeah, everybody at 99%.
You're now rocking with the 134 Smash Podcast, uncut and raw. You're now rocking with the 134 Podcast, uncut and raw. You're now rocking with the 134 Podcast, uncut and raw. You're now rocking with the 134 Podcast, uncut and raw. You know Smash, about to have it on Smash, about to test you with the pressures. Hope you dudes and you chicks going past on go mode, so you can't stop it. We let the fans shoot, so pick any topic. My bro Yvonne, yeah, he been a dawn, live from the X, been putting that ish on. Don't even try the boonies and let it fly. The corner store, Olama don't play about the homie ride. Talk about A1s, been loyal from day one. What y'all know about the horsemen? What? My 4 brothers, I'm speaking for them, I'm leaving you gems. So I hopped on this beat like Kevin the Rim. This here, perfect timing. Cash Ruger, that's who rhyming. We shot it like new diamonds. They sharper than new liners. We ready, we on timing. You tune think you on timing. You know where to find us from Bristol to Lyman. You're now rocking with the 134 Smash Podcast, uncut and raw. You're now rocking with the 134 Podcast, uncut and raw. You're now rocking with the 134 Podcast, uncut and raw. You're now rocking with the 134